Good morning, XOP, and a blessed day to all of you. Today, let us talk about Matthew 26:41. It states there that Jesus was telling to the disciples, "Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." In the previous chapters and verses, we were told about the disciples' cowardice, denial, and abandonment that Jesus predicted. And Jesus was telling the disciples to continue watching and praying so that they will not fall into temptation and they will not be easy marks for fear. So Jesus was telling them to stand on their watch. Do not fall into this sleep. Do not fall into this spiritual neglect. And at that moment, Jesus was also struggling. Now, at first, we can feel like it's just us who is having that kind of struggle. But we fail to see that when Jesus came to earth, he also embodied a human form. And in that moment, while he was in the midst of telling the disciples to watch and pray, Jesus was experiencing something as well in the Garden of Gethsemane. And he was using that situation of struggle to teach the disciples in what they have to do. So Jesus was there praying to the Father, saying, "Lord, take this cup away from me, not as I will, but as you will." He prayed there 3 times. And he was even telling the Father, "If this cup will not be taken away from me, then let your will be done." So even though Jesus had that struggle, he was sweating blood. And he was in agony, in pain, in sadness, with mix of emotions that the humans can feel in the time of suffering and death. Jesus felt everything. And he still submitted to the will of the Father. Jesus was not about to abandon his mission. Jesus was not about to tell God to twist his arm and look the other way. No, that's not what Jesus wanted. But what Jesus did was to express his human nature. But we can see that in his heart, his conviction, his passion was to carry out the mission of God, the mission of the Father, that he was sent, that Jesus was sent for our salvation. And Jesus used that particular moment to tell and teach the disciples to watch and pray as what Jesus is doing. He was watching and praying towards the Father so that he will be aligned to his will and that he will be empowered by the Holy Spirit. Jesus was tempted a lot of times in the Bible, and we can see how passionate he was in fulfilling the will of God. And this is what Jesus wants to tell us right now, that in the midst of temptation, in the midst of sufferings, let us always trust God. Let us always put our faith on God. Let us always stand firm, watch and pray. And let us embrace the will of God in our lives. I hope you are blessed. God bless you all.